Then number 5, so student investigates the progress, all right, of the council company with the hydrochloric acid one. Okay, they produce a volume of gas one, then they stop. They say state how the shape is actually come out of the past paper. Show that the rate of reaction decrease and the reaction progress plan. They say how the shape of the graph show the rate of reaction decrease and the reaction. So you write out because less difficult. They can talk about gradient also. The gradient become decreasing one until 0. Also can. Then suggest why the rate of reaction decrease as the reaction progress.
Fucking nigga!
Yes. So suggest why the rate of reaction decrease as the reaction progress, right? So anyway, because reactant use one. But then sometimes they are quite specific one. Which reactant that we use one is the one that limiting region. If there's a 2 marks one, then you tell me which one is the limiting region. In this case, I don't think, oh, they got. Then you just say it's VCL. Okay. Then reduce at the time when the reaction is already finished, right? Then should be 200. Can say the concentration of acid increase. Can A2 be lesser unreacted particle to collide with? Can also. It's the same meaning. It's the same meaning. Lesser unreacted particles one, which means your reactant is reduced already. The experiment using the same mass or smaller piece of marble one, all other conditions kept the same. Draw a line to show the progress using a smaller piece, same mass but smaller piece of marbles one, which means they change the surface area, right? So smaller pieces means why? Larger surface area, right? So if it's larger surface area one, then it should be more steeper. But then at the end, must be the same. At the end must match the same. But then how steep you want to draw is up to you. They're using the same mass, a smaller piece only. Right? But then I just want to ask another thing. Why? If everyone can tell me. Why? Who can tell me what is the answer? If let's say I change to concentrated hydrochloric acid, same volume. If you tell me more stable means also like this, is it? Hillary is right. Very bottom one. Yeah, something also right. So remember, if the concentration of the limiting region one, because the H is a limiting region, right? If it's increased one, right? They'll increase the rate, but then they'll increase the yield also. Please remember, this is very important. If it's an excess one, like if example, anyway solid, there's no concentration, it doesn't matter. But then in other experiment, if let's say it's a solution, but then if it's an excess one, if you increase the concentration excess, then they only increase the rate. But then for limiting region, you have to really take notes one. Increasing limiting region one, they'll increase the rate. At the same time, they also increase the yield, which means the graph should be like this one. You will produce more than that. Because it's a limiting region, the number one will be different. So I will use someone, right? If the number one is different, then I will produce more product. Yeah, everyone please stand up. This is very important. Only concentration is like this one. So you have to mention both rate and the increase. Yeah. But then this one they tell you already which is limiting, which is the excess. Then divide the term activation energy one. So it's a minimum energy, right? Require, right? So for the reaction to occur. But then you also can write for the collision, for the reaction to occur also can. For the collision also can. It's a minimum energy required for the reaction to have a successful collision also can. Then explain why the reaction increase with the temperature increase one in terms of activation energy of collision one. Almost every year they like to come out one temperature. Why? They always like to ask one. So make sure temperature one for the expedition one, you have to know very well one because they always like to come out. Why? It's just that in different month, maybe they come out in different month also. Right? So high temperature one for they already say rate of reaction in temperature increase, so you just explain only. So the reason is because particle gains kinetic energy. It gain kinetic energy. So once they gain kinetic energy, so you move faster, right? So then they'll collide. So collide with each other more frequently. They collide with each other more frequently. so when particle energy same or higher than activation energy. So collide with each other might be the same, right? More frequently. Then once it become more frequently one, then they have more. So more portion particle have energy equals or more than the activation energy. But then since they mention activation energy, so most of the time we normally mention successful energy. We normally mention they have a sufficient energy one. But then since they want to mention the activation energy one, they have to elaborate the sufficient energy. So the sufficient energy means it's equals or more than the activation energy one. Okay. And right. Right, they always have to come out. Temperature is a way of the one, but then, right, so you see whether they come out other factor or not.